For thousands of years, humanity believed it was the first intelligent force capable of creating complex machines. We saw ourselves as the pioneers of innovation, the masters of logic and engineering. But what if that story isn't entirely true? What if, buried in the sands of time, there were other engineers, far more advanced than we can imagine? What if they created devices so complex they resembled early forms of artificial intelligence? Today, we're going to explore the ancient machines that completely challenge our understanding of history and hint that intelligence, in mechanical form, may have begun long before the first computer was ever switched on. Let us travel back to 1901. A group of sponge divers are exploring the waters off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera. They stumble upon a shipwreck, and among the artifacts they find something strange. A corroded, unassuming chunk of bronze filled with gears. At first, no one knew what it was. It looked like a rock, but it would take scientists and historians an entire century to piece together the puzzle and understand its true purpose. This was the Antikythera Mechanism, now widely considered the world's first known analog computer. Built around 100 BCE, this incredible device could predict astronomical events with astonishing accuracy. It tracked eclipses, the complex cycles of the moon, the movements of the planets, and even the schedule for the Olympic Games. Inside its wooden case were at least 37 bronze gears, all precision engineered and perfectly aligned. This wasn't primitive technology, this was mastery. It was a level of mechanical sophistication that wouldn't be seen again for over 1,000 years. The Antikythera Mechanism shouldn't exist, but it does. The story doesn't stop there. Let's journey to ancient Egypt, where temple priests were said to have built living statues. These weren't just idols. They were machines designed to inspire awe and reverence. Using hidden mechanics, these statues could open temple doors on their own, raise their arms in blessing, and even appeared to speak or weep through clever use of fire, water, and pressure. Then, in ancient Greece, we meet a true genius of mechanics, Hieron of Alexandria. His inventions sound like something from a science fiction novel, not the 1st century CE. Hieron designed automatic doors that opened when a fire was lit on an altar. He created self-moving carts that could follow a preset path. He built coin-operated machines that dispensed holy water. He even engineered entire mechanical puppet theaters that performed plays from start to finish. Most impressively, Hieron described the system of logic-controlled valves, a fundamental concept that forms the very basis of modern automation. Now, were these early forms of AI? Not by today's standards, of course. They couldn't learn or think for themselves, but they were absolutely attempts to mimic life, to create a sense of autonomy using machinery. As the Roman Empire fell, Europe entered the Dark Ages, but elsewhere, innovation thrived. During the Islamic Golden Age, around the year 1200 CE, 3 brilliant brothers in Baghdad, known as the Banu Musa, wrote a groundbreaking text, the Book of Ingenious Devices. This wasn't just a collection of ideas. It was a detailed manual filled with designs for over 100 sophisticated machines. Inside its pages, you'd find plans for self-playing musical instruments, like an automated flute player that could perform different tunes. There were designs for elaborate, automatic fountains that changed their patterns at regular intervals. They described feedback-controlled valves that could maintain a constant liquid level, a crucial principle in modern industrial control systems. And perhaps most shocking of all, they designed a mechanical servant. This automaton was designed to stand by a basin of water and pour drinks for a guest. It could even be programmed to offer different types of drinks based on the user's selection. This was, in essence, an ancient version of a programmable robot. It wasn't just a machine. It was a machine designed to serve and interact with humans. So this brings us to the big question. Were ancient engineers just incredibly skilled mechanics, or were they trying to build something more? Was this a genuine attempt at creating intelligence? To answer that, we have to define what artificial intelligence really is at its core, stripping away the modern layers of silicon and code. Fundamentally, AI is about 3 things: logic, prediction, and automation. Ancient machines achieved all three. The Antikythera Mechanism predicted the future movements of the cosmos. Hieron of Alexandria's machines used logic to respond to human actions and environmental changes, and the devices of the Banu Musa brothers performed complex automated tasks without human intervention. The software was mechanical, powered by gears, levers, and water pressure, but the underlying principles were there. The blueprint for creating non-biological intelligence existed long before the discovery of electricity. They weren't just building tools. They were trying to breathe mechanical life into their creations. If this technology was so advanced, what happened to it? Why did humanity seemingly hit the reset button on engineering? The answer is a tragedy of history. So much of this incredible knowledge simply vanished. The Great Library of Alexandria, a repository of countless ancient texts, burned. Empires that fostered science and innovation fell, and with them, the institutions that supported these great minds. Knowledge was often a closely guarded secret, held by small groups of priests or elite craftsmen. And when they disappeared, their knowledge died with them. And, of course, centuries of war and instability erased progress, destroying workshops and scattering engineers. For nearly 1,000 years, humanity essentially forgot how to build these complex machines. It wasn't until the Renaissance, when scholars began rediscovering and translating these lost Greek and Arabic texts, that Europe began to catch up. The ideas of Hieron and the Banu Musa brothers were reborn, fueling a new age of innovation. When the first electronic computers were finally invented in the 20th century, we believed we were pioneers venturing into completely new territory. We saw ourselves as the creators of a new form of intelligence, something the world had never seen before. But maybe we weren't the first. Perhaps we were simply continuing a very old, very human dream, the dream of creating intelligence outside of our own minds. The ancients laid the foundation. They took the very first brilliant step on a journey that spans millennia. They proved that with gears, water, and ingenuity, you could make a machine that mimics life, predicts the future, and follows commands. We, with our silicon chips and neural networks, are just taking the next step. This was the untold story of the ancient machines that defy history, the first computers and robots that time forgot. If you found this journey into the past as fascinating as I did, make sure to like and subscribe. In our next episode, we'll be exploring lost civilizations that were potentially even more advanced than we ever imagined. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.